Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to iRacing Short Course presented by Racecraft TV. Right now we are actually waiting for a session to be created. We had a small hiccup with the game itself. So while that is going on, Austin and I will be entertaining you while we wait on Dave Arnold to to get back. Austin, how'd you like last week's race?
Last week's race at Wild Horse Pass certainly was a wild one, and I must say we're here at the big house of Crandon. I'm expecting a lot more closer racing and a very heated starting order because remember at Crandon you got those standing starts and just see trucks go 3 rows deep. Oh, those are just awesome to watch.
Yeah, the land rush has always been a blast. My favorite is that jump section. Last season we had Mason Prater. He was doing some great work off that jump. He hit the mark every single time. I wish I had a video compilation of how he was landing his truck that season. And I know Holden Heightrider and a couple other guys were pretty much on point coming off that jump, and then going into the normal track. It's these guys run so tight. It's really hard to see them separate each other or separate from each other out there.
It is, and, we have a lot of great experience here at Crandon, here on Racecraft TV. We've seen so many times in these jumps on how they land these trucks specifically on the back left wheel, going onto the front right wheel. It's just landing at an angle is just an art form, and all these guys have mastered it.
Well, that's the thing is last season, Prater was landing flat. Like it was weird. He would he'd land flat and it would just carry through. Like maybe it would come up a half an inch off the ground after just because the shocks, just rebounding, but he was just landing it. It's been a little rougher lately. Maybe there's been some changes to the setup, so it's a little harder to line that jump up. But when we had, I believe we had open setups at the time when that happened, and these guys were hitting the mark just left and right. It was crazy.
Yeah, we're going to see who can hit the mark this time by, as I believe we got our guest back.
That is correct.
Yes.
Dave, how's it going?
Pretty good. I heard you guys talking the whole time, talking about Crandon. I'm so excited to go out there. I actually purchased the track, went out, turned some laps on it. If you've been there in real life, it's pretty wow. It's almost, eerie how close it is to really happening. And, gave me a little insight into the driving and some of the corners and where you got to carry the speed, the downshifting, where you got to rotate the truck. And man, Crandon is by far the funnest track I think we have.
It certainly is, and having driven this track and all the other tracks on iRacing, Crandon is just one of those where you just drive to have a good time.
Yes, I will agree. And I'll tell you, hitting your marks is real important. If you get off, and we've seen it in the races last year, you can go from here to zero real quick. One mistake, and Crandon not too forgiving when you get out in the marbles and onto the grass.
All right, I think the session is up. Let me go ahead and load up into it. I'm just verifying start time. I'm trying to find that at the moment just to make sure because there are two. Start time 7. Okay, no, this is the wrong one. Waiting on the other session to still load.
Okay, well,
yeah,
let's talk
we're just all waiting for it. We had a little miscommunication with the servers as, one was launching up, the other one's launching up. They had a different setting, and we saw this last week where one setting was preferable to somebody, but it actually had a very bad qualifying surface, and instead of correcting it, they just decided to make a new one for this week.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Dave?
I was just going to say that's all Greek to me.
Well, let me translate for you. We're currently traveling to a new track. It got rained out.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Okay. They send the dryers out to dry the dirt.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, this is off-road, man. We'll race in any condition.
Exactly. All right, looks like it's loading up right now, so we'll get the scene changed over in a second once we get in. But,
let's talk a little bit about last week, of course, Holden Heightrider. Wow. Just an incredible performance, and Luke Canutt fighting his way up there, and some surprises, though. Some of the drivers we thought they were going to be up closer actually weren't.
Yeah, a few of the drivers did give us a big surprise on where they positioned themselves. Certainly, the heat races and the last chance qualifier definitely threw a giant wrench in there. And I can tell you, it's probably going to be the same thing here, especially with that land rush start. It's going to be how you start and how you carry your jumps and how you carry your rhythm here at Crandon. Because if you just get one thing wrong at the big house, it's going to be very difficult to get yourself into the finale.
Well, and qualifying is very important for these drivers, of course. It's not always having the quickest time is not always the best because you're so pinched in, or being, last qualifiers are the guys that make it on the outside, let alone if we go to multiple rows. Well, hello, everybody. We're back. It looks like we're live.
We've been live.
There we go.
Well, I'm talking, the screen is up.
In the session.
There we go. Well, I'll introduce myself. I'm Dave Arnold. I'll be joined alongside tonight with Austin Knight. And, of course, our producer, Randall Alvarez, chiming in, keeping us up to date. And, of course, our league host, Connor Berry, and Bronson Cheramani, keeping all the drivers in line.
Yeah, the league hosts do a great job. We got our sponsors with us: CBR Performance Parts, Dirt Sports World, Sparco, Signature Propellers, Rigid, Super Clean, Sunwest Supply Incorporated, and AIM, sponsoring this series with us. And I can tell you, all of us love having these people on board, especially Sparco, because I got my Sparco gloves on right now.
It's so funny, is everything I'm looking up there, I pretty much have used or touched or had dealings with, and that's really cool. Super Clean, I'll tell you, works so awesome. It's just not clean, it's super clean. AIM data systems, keeping all my drivers, all the up-to-date data in their race vehicles. And, Signature Propellers, I've had them working on impellers for me. I've got rigid lights on my truck. And, of course, driven mini vehicles at CBR keeps cool out there. And you can read all about it in Dirt Sports World. Check it out, dirtsportsworld.com. And, of course, Sparco. Wouldn't have any other driving suit.
Yeah, or driving gloves. And we were talking about their Sim series of gloves last time by, and immediately after the broadcast, I got a pair in the Racecraft TV colors. Gotta say, they are so comfortable. I've been wearing them around the house. Like, I haven't been driving mostly with these on. They're just comfortable.
They can hold a cocktail very well, or adult beverage.
Feel great.
All right, guys, looks like we're good to go, so I'm going to let you guys take it away. With that being said, I'll be in the background.
Thank you, Randall. Well, it looks like we're watching a little bit of qualifying right now. Great overhead shot there. The blimp. How about that, Austin?
You gotta love the blimp here at the big house. Catches everything. I know the drone cam loves to come out sometimes. I know watching when they come over to Crandon, they love pulling that drone cam out there right now. But that blimp is our version of this drone cam. Currently, Prater's on top by nearly... just by 0.2 of a second, ahead of Drapkin and Hyder in third. And this is just practice. This is not qualifying. They said they're going to start qualifying in about 1 or 2 minutes, judging by the announcement that they just put into the Discord. But in these early times, as Mason Prater goes, that's a very odd line.
Well, it worked for him. Most definitely. Drapkin running good. Heitritter, he's the man with a bullseye on his back, coming out around number 1 in charge. Keaton Swain, looking like he's throwing some good times down there. It always sets the tone here watching the practice. You can kind of see which these drivers, which lines that are working for them.
It seriously does. And it also gives a little bit of drivers to work out some other things that they want to try out. If you just had a thought that going a little bit wider one time, getting onto the throttle just a little bit more helps you out. Maybe a last minute setup tweak. That's what practice is for. Qualifying is to just slam in what you learn and maybe just get in some little bit of racing right here as we're watching Reese Newer and that 15 just get a little bit stuff inside of the 77 who went very airborne right there.
Yeah, you can see that for sure. Really liking Reese's wrap job on there. It looks pretty cool. Real patriotic, red, white, and blues. And it's clean. That's what I really like. Not a lot of things for your eyes to get confused on.
That is true. Simple paints sometimes just pop out that little bit more. He's running that Sparco livery as well. So those guys over there are going to be very happy about that.
Yeah, it looks like we got Sean Heck back. Good to see him.
Yeah, Sean, after not having the best opening round, well, he's back, and he's going to be seeing if he can get into the finale this time.
Yeah, most definitely. And Luke Knupp looked like throwing some quick times there. Looks like they threw the checkered on the practice. So that means we're going to go right into qualifying.
Yeah, qualifying going to start up very soon as there goes everybody.
Ooh.
Off the track. And
that was just seconds from a collision. Did you see that?
Oh, man. Somebody's life flashed right before their eyes, and thankfully iRacing saved them right there. Because I know in VR, if you sit in VR and you look at a crash coming right toward you, it's the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah, I just went through that. I was out at pole position out in Corona. Thank you, Ken Fott, by the way. And had a kid turn around right there. And next thing I know, I'm up. I'm T-boning him because he's turned around in a turn, and I'm going up on top of him. And I was like, okay, that felt like virtual reality. You know, oh, wait a minute, it just happened. So still feeling the effects.
Yeah, thankfully for you, you're okay. When I had my incident, it happened behind me. Next thing I know, I'm heading into a wall. And, well, we all know how that ended out.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, it looks like we're seeing Cross Kirchmeier, 75. Looks like he hails from your home state there.
Yeah, home state and homeland of Texas. The 75 looking very good, heading into that hairpin. Taking that wide entry and then the low exit to get that speed as they go as he goes across the starting line. And I'm going to tell you the sweet spot for qualifying. You want to be in about 7th to 10th on
that's
that
what
outside
I was talking
line.
about.
Because
it's kind of middle to out, yeah.
Yeah, because that's where the maximum grip is on that outside. That's the fastest place to get to that grippy dirt that everyone's been running on. That inside line has a little bit of there, but the farther parts it just works right there. I don't know if iRacing will ever adjust that or keep it very similar, but it is a very big game changer. We might see somebody aim for that spot in qualifying, but with these heats, it's kind of hard to determine where you're going to qualify, where you're going to start, unless you're in the top 3.
Yeah, and you got to keep your eyes out there on and everything too. Trying to see, if we get the other drivers' times there. That's always kind of nice.
Yeah, well, they haven't came across the start line yet because the start line is in the middle of the track. So they come out of the pit lane, they go across the start line, and then they have to finish their lap. And Crandon's the longest track here on the iRacing Short Course Series as Heck goes the fastest and the first time and the only time. And he's currently sitting first ahead of Bunch in second place.
That's right. We're watching Gary Green on board with him as we come around that Potawatomi turn number 1. And
very
wow.
Wide entry, getting very sideways. So we go up the hill, heading over to the big jump. Good drop down. Then it's my favorite turn of all this, the massive carousel. Massive berm on this track.
Gravel pit.
Yep. And then the Polaris Razor jump. Home to that pole of the world of the longest jump on this here, which I'm going to be honest, I beat that not in a truck, in a rally car. You're on iRacing.
Rally car do on.
Not as crazy as it sounds. It's actually very fun.
All right. I got to chime in on this one. Sorry to interrupt. I actually took a Ford Coupe Legends to Crandon and completed a couple laps. It was a blast. The little 34s.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we get a chance, we should set up a race session with them and get. I got Darren and I think Zach to race with me once. That was a blast. It's a little loose, but it drives like a dream.
Driving
I
think here is loose.
I believe it'll be a little bit of a throwback to some of these guys who raced in the buggy carts when they were younger.
Yeah.
Oh, the mod carts.
Yeah, the mod carts.
Yeah, you can fit a couple of those guys down side by side. It's pretty fun. But sorry for interrupting, but I just had to shout that out. That was so much fun.
That's one thing I really wish iRacing would add the mod carts. I think it would be just insane.
The mod cart series would be the Skippies of the dirt road.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, those mod carts are like a scaled down Pro 2 power to weight ratio.
This is true, and I haven't actually been in one of them. They look like a toy car from the outside. When you get into them, oh man, they're much faster than one of those toy cars.
Yeah, Connor Berry, in fact, just came off winning the last season of Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series in mod carts, came out the champion. Very good. And of course, they've all, raced Crandon with Braden Cheramani, just killed it out there. And so did Bronson. Of course, Mason Prater, former mod cart kid, now racing Pro Light. Ethan Ebert, mod carts. Pretty cool. Then Darren Hardesty. He came out of the mod carts, was a pro buggy, multi-time champion.
Yeah, there are a few videos on the Lucas Oil YouTube page that has some of his full races from back in 2013. So if you want to watch some good Markart racing and some familiar names out there, well, back to 2013 is where you want to look at in those mod cart days.
Oh yeah,
they don't upload the full races anymore. And your voice as well.
And of course, Drapkin, Zach came out of the mod carts too, pro buggy racer. Trenton Briley, another kart kid. Luke Knupp, another fast kart. Hey, look at all my kart kids up there. Knupp, Golding, Briley, Drapkin. They all, Heitritter, Prater, Ebert. Those are the top 7 right now. All came from mod carts.
It's like having real life experience helps you around this track.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I mean, I saw, with Connor and Luke, what it did for them when they went and translated from racing on in real life, and then not be able to race doing the iRacing. They actually got a little quicker, I think, after that.
Yeah, in iRacing, it kind of takes away some of the fears you have in real life. I know in real life, you actually have a little bit of consequences when you take a jump a little bit too hard, when you hit the wall a little bit too much. A, you first have to pay for your car that you just destroyed. So there goes that fear out of your mind. And then B, you don't get hurt every time. So it takes away some of that massive fear factor you have and able to push it to the limit and then over the limit some way more than you would in real life.
Yeah, I know most of these kids, I've seen them take some nasty tumbles. And once you kind of get it out, and you wait a minute, you know what? May have shooken some of the cobwebs loose, but wasn't that bad. And you kind of not so much lose that fear, you just expect what could happen. So I don't think it's so much the fear, it's just the knowledge. Because if you got fear, might as well just throw those keys away. We're watching qualifying right now here on iRacing Short Course. Want a big thanks again to CBR Performance Products, Dirt Sports World, Sparco, Signature Propellers, Rigid Industries, Super Clean, SunWest, and of course, AIM Data Systems. And just to let you know, Dirt Sports World, we're going to be giving hats and t-shirts to the top 3 drivers, and then we'll be giving away a magazine subscription and digital subscription to the overall winner. And I'll give second and third also digital subscriptions to the magazine. So giving away some prizes. I know Sparco always has their little goodie bags for our champions also.
Yeah, and Dirt Sports World, your home for all dirt sports racing. Yep. And I got to be honest, I love reading that magazine and just going online to see it, especially around Baja time, because that's where I started. Oh,
yeah, that's great. I had the best time taking pictures down there this year. Got the most sick pictures of Luke McMillan, who, took the win. And, of course, oh, look at this. Great shot. Oh, Zach. Zach getting a little bit next to that wall there, but sitting 5th overall. Love that shot.
We're racing the Pro 4s here today. Not the Pro 2s. The Pro 4s, the 4-wheel drive trucks. The quote, the easier trucks to drive. But some people can't tell the difference between the Pro 4 and the Pro 2. Well, a big difference is on how much that they can put out power and the front hood. The front hood's a little bit more curved upwards as we get a good shot right there. Thank you, Randall. Of that front hood. It's more curved. It's not flat like the Pro 2s as we take a look at Zachary Drapkin's truck right there.
Life, you really don't, it's hard to tell other than looking underneath the front end of them. I mean, they're all, in real life, they both run 900 plus horsepower motors. You know, now here's something you may not know. In real life, these are not full-time four-wheel drives. They actually, when you let off the throttle, it will disengage the front differential, allow the truck to rotate, and as soon as you get back on the gas, it re-engages. And there's a gear type and a clutch type, 2 different types on that. So just a little education on the way they are. Now, if you had the wheels, you know, if you couldn't get that rear end around and get that nose pointed in the right direction, those front wheels won't pull you as well. Versus it was full-time drive, you'd be sliding sideways quite a bit, even with the wheel full cock. I don't know if iRacing's taking that into account, though.
I think if iRacing tried to take that account, I believe they knew that as an account. I think some of the people you might have seen smoke coming out of their head. But as heat number 1 is about to get underway, I think it's time to bring it over for an anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, great rendition, a great way to start the big house here at Crandon. We're going to talk about All-American. Well, you know what? Can't get any more All-American in the Midwest right there, baby.
Certainly, put the nail on the head right now, and we have all of our drivers all lined up. I think we're still waiting on Milson, but we're all lined up at the Steelit starting line here for the start of heat number 1. We got Het, Chiramonte, Hardesty, Kirschmeyer, Wagner, Stratton, Bunch, Irwin, Abruma, Milson, and Rampart are 11 trucks all lined up here today. Well, it is all American except for Luis Amarula from Mexico and Andrew Milson for Canada.
I was going to say we got north and south of the border there, eh? Jose?
See.
CC.
All North America is represented.
Yeah, there we go. I like that. North America. We're all one big family. I love that.
Indeed, we are. As this is the longest waiting I've ever seen for a heat start. I think something is going on behind the scenes here.
Yeah, and Milson again not populated for just a moment. Then he went light again. Poor Rampart back on the back row there. That's going to be a tough one.
All right, but as we wait for the start, I believe we have our invocation waiting for us.
All right, let's get some racing in. So stoked to see you guys doing the virtual racing thing, and that you invite me to be a part of that. So let's kick this off with a prayer, and please bow with me. Father, I'm just so stoked with these guys. They're all out here racing and make the most of these uncertain times. And Father, with our uncertain times, we just put those in your hands, and that gives us faith, knowing that you got us covered. You're God, we are not, and we can rest with assurance that you will take care of us no matter what we're doing. So I pray for these guys with their safety, that they're keeping themselves healthy and they're keeping their immune system strong, and that you would be a part of all that, Father. And whether they're racing on a computer or they're racing in real life, we just give you, we put our life in your hands, and we just give you all the glory and praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, guys, you guys have fun. I can't wait to see you in the real staging lanes, and hopefully sometime soon.
Big thanks to Steve Hansen, aka Chappie, for Racers for Christ. Thank you so much. And it looks like our field has populated here once again. We've got Heck, Cheramani, Hardesty, Kirchmeier, Wagner, Stratton, Bunch, Irvin, Arabula, Milson, and Rampart. That's going to be good. It looks like Rampart on the second row. Now, Austin, you talked about that middle section and being the quickest place you want to be pretty much starting. And we're going to see if that's going to come to true on this start here.
Well, I can hear the engines already revving and getting ready to go. The lights are coming on. They're lined up at the Steel It starting line. It's time to go Big House Racing here at Crandon, as it's green, and away we go. And it's a great start by I believe that is Rampart all the way around the outside. Heck gets a good run as they head into the big start, and the big collision as they go around it. Oh!
And look who someone just went airborne.
Oh, that was Milson who got airborne. He had a great run around the outside, but it's Hector, Monte, Kirchmeier, Bunch, Rampart, Wagner, Hardesty, Stratton, Amberol, and Irwin. Our top 10. Milson is off in the pits early on. That's the end of his race, I believe so. Chermonte trying to look down to the inside. Heck goes wide, and it's side by side. They go over the Polaris Razor jump. And, man, the Big House already having a big start.
All right, here they come around across that finish line here.
Chermonte gets onto the inside, got a good run round to the outside now. He takes over the lead around of Heck.
On Heck having that new paint scheme on there, following Chermonte and the standard AM Ortega wrap on there. Looking really good. Here they go. A little bit
of action on that berm too, so that might slow him down on that straight, looking down throughout the field. Got a few battles lined up right here, but that opening section at the Big House definitely throws in a lot of different action. But we got a big look down the inside by Darren Hardesty.
Cowboys corner, always a calamity corner for sure there. But look at this. Chermonte and Heck battling it out for that top position. Out of the Forest Potawatomi, turn number 1. Heading down to the barn. Here we around the corner.
Heck looking for that switchback, but Chermonte has that outside line. He's got the speed, and Heck's just trying to follow him right now, getting a bit wild as we head into the gravel pit. Both of them taking fairly similar lines now. Both of them are in that good locked-in spot, but right behind him is a fight for third. That's Kirchmeier a bunch.
And it looks like Rampart coming up right behind him with Wagner, Chermonte, Heck out front, looking to get that qualifying position early on here. But don't forget, we should see a competition caution come out and re-rack and restack this field.
Yeah, we should see that. We remember what happened last time at Wild Horse, where they did their competition caution a lap early, and it brought out our first ever red flag I've ever seen on iRacing. And right. We had I would say about 5 minutes of just wondering what the heck happened.
I was wondering if somebody fell out of their simulator.
I think they would have fell out their simulator, but no, it was engine damage. They were trying to get that thing repaired. But it's at the end of this lap, they're going to throw that competition caution, and so everyone is on the same page. It's after lap 3. It's not lap 3. It's after it.
It's right after it. It's completion of lap 3. It's completion of halfway. Great shot there. Chermonte comes around, pitches it sideways.
Oh my goodness. Hardesty and Rampart are off in the grass right now.
Oh.
Very aggressive defense by them. I just saw that out of the corner of my eye. They were completely on the opposite side of the track where you want to be. But Chiramonte goes around the pagoda and across the finish line, and the competition caution has been called as Stratton went into the pits. So nice little transition graphic of who's actually came across the line. I wonder why Stratton went into the pits. I think to repair his truck and catch the end of this field.
It's going to be a difficult run. Crandon, such a large, fast track there. Some fast runners for sure. It's going to be tough to fight your way back up front, especially with Chiramani and Heck, who have just been a runaway at this point. Kirchmeier has been battling it back there with Bunch, but I do believe only 2 are coming out of this one.
Yeah, it's Chiramonte and Heck currently 1-2. Kirchmeier, this is going to be a big sigh of relief for him. He's currently has the fastest lap of the race at the 1:18.856. And if he gets this restart right, he could be challenging Heck or Chiramonte for the lead of this race and that best transfer spot into the finale.
And it's kind of funny just watching that line as he come around. It looks like it's a good line just in slow motion there. And it's so important to hit the shift points coming through these turns too. Where you're downshifting, where you're braking. And drivers, as you well know, Austin, being a driver yourself, you pick out your marks. So these guys are either looking for a banner, hay bales, a tire, where they're going to shift, downshift, get ready for a jump, or enter and exit a turn.
Yeah, there are a few things on the track you look as we go green over the jump. Brandon Chiramonte completely in control of this restart. He put the pedal to the metal right as he crested the jump to catch the field off guard. And I can tell you that really shuffled the field back there. Look at them, they're too wide, but up front there's single file. Chiramonte, Heck, Kirchmeier, hard to say, Bunch, and Rampart, Irwin, and getting a little bit sideways with Rampart in the battle for 6th place.
Yeah, I do believe a few of those drivers did get caught sleeping there a little bit, but Heck did not. Right on the right rear quarter panel there of Chiramani, helping him around the turn, gave him a little touch just to let him know he's there. And look at this battle here between the 259 machine and I'll tell you, this is incredible watching these two drivers going back at it. Not in a qualifying position, but you can see how close these guys are, and it is tough to pass him.
Yeah, tough to pass, but Aiden Irvin trying his best as around the outside, they're all going that wide line around Cowboys corner, but later on in the pack, they like to tighten it up and go all the way to that apex and try to do a dive job, and a slide job, really, and place that bumper right on the nose of somebody taking that wide line and get a good block in there. I've seen that done a few times here, as that was a very weird line. I believe that was by Bunch, who, instead of going back on near the, Rampart's had an issue. Rampart just fell all the way down to 9th.
Looks like he's trying to go backwards. You're right there. Ciarabula and Irvin swapping spots back and forth there, back in 6th and 7th. But the story right now, Chiramani and Heck pretty much in the qualifying position. Kirchmeier just outside the bubble there. Hardesty trying to charge hard. Still a couple laps to go here. And crack.
Kirchmeier currently your fastest lap holder as they keep powering on. Hardesty set his fastest laps. We go underneath the barrier. You only got a few more laps to go. Cross Kirchmeier trying to get on that 619 truck and try to get into that second place of 75. Definitely powering through on the straight, but he's got Cross Kirchmeier. Darren Hardesty right behind you. That's Cross Kirchmeier I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, it looks like a new wrap there on Sean Heck. Pacers. I believe Pacers one of the considered essential businesses in San Diego. I'll let everybody draw their conclusions of what kind of business it is.
This is a family show.
That's right.
It's a DJ club place. No, but some businesses want their business on the truck, and we don't blame him for that. So definitely supporting his localness, and I love the number he's running with that 619 as Cross Kirchmeier. He's under a little bit of pressure by Hardesty. He's looking down the inside as they come across the pagoda once more. That white flag is in the air. One more lap here at heat number 1 at the Big House.
And Chiramani definitely feeling the pressure. I'll tell you, Heck is all over him.
I feel like Heck's actually loosened up that pressure. He's seeing that fight going behind him as, oh my goodness, Darren Hardesty riding over that berm, trying to cut the course as much as he can. Got airborne, and this fight right behind him is not helping Kirchmeier at all, as the front two are going to start pulling away, and now they're going to be racing for the starting position in the last chance qualifier. If they cannot get ahead into Cowboys corner, they go sideways, trying to catch up, kicking up a lot of dirt, and that's the best thing. That's the best particles you can see in the world. Dirt in the air. Oh, you know you're at Crandon.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're throwing the tires. Are digging deep there as they come out of Forest County, Potawatomi, turn number 1. Here we go. This is the final lap. Cheromani, Heck, Kirchmeier, Hardesty, and Bunch. The top 5. Cheromani and Heck looking in the sweet spot as they come up and around.
Cheromani is trying to cut the jump. He actually went over the grass that time to cut that corner as slow as he can. Heck going low, big dive by Cross, but Heck blocked that perfectly. Cheromani over the Polaris Racer jump over to the pole. One final time to go. The checker is in the air, and it's gonna be Heck getting a good run, but it's Cheromani around the outside to hold it off, followed by Heck, Kirchmeier in third, Hardesty, Bunch in 5th place, and they're followed by Stratton, who just came across the line, and Rampart, Milson, Irvin, and Amberula with Wagner, not with the 11th and 10th, as Braden Cheromani, he's over the moon right now. He's doing a lot of donuts.
Oh, he just opened up the donut shop and blew the motor.
Well, that's the way you know the oven's been roaring, when there's smoke in the air.
That's right. Well, a great race, heat number 1. Congratulations again to Braden Cheromani, and of course Sean Heck. Now we're looking at round 2. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Ricky Johnson started up on the very inside, followed by Reese Newer, Nicholas Dashlet, Brady Beatty, Shaden Minder, Francesco Piata, Taylor Bush, Christopher Plumley, Ashton Perfect, Kyle Cooper on the very outside, with Connor Berry starting at the back row. And I don't believe Berry is actually going to be taking the start, since he is the league admin.
Yes.
So it's a 10-car wide. Oh yeah, it's always great to see your name up there.
Well, it's definitely. I want to thank our great sponsors again, like CBR Performance Products. You're looking for cooling solutions, whether it's your off-road vehicle or, you know what, you need that special hot rod cool. Well, they could accommodate you. Also, check out the voice of off-road, Dirt Sports World. And you want to be safe when you're driving, or when you're in your simulator and you want to hold onto that wheel nice and tight with Sparco. Of course, got to thank Signature Propellers, Rigid Industries for lighting up the night. It's just not clean.
It's super clean. Oh, sorry. I was going to step in.
I was waiting to see if someone's going to get the cue.
I had to turn my audio up. Sorry.
And of course, Sun-West and AIM Data Systems. I want a big thanks to them for making this possible here at the iRacing Short Course. Again, myself, Dave Arnold, join alongside Austin Knight with chiming in every once in a while, Randall Alvarez.
All right, we're getting on a comedy cue right now, but we got a cue to go racing. 5 lights are on. Away they go. We're green here at the Big House for heat number 2. And we got another great start. 10 wide action heading into turn 1. That red, white, and blue stars and stripes down the inside. That's Ricky Johnson taking the lead, followed by Cooper Newer, Perfect Dashlight, Bush, Betty Plumley, Mambiata, PETA, as I believe, Piata actually went immediately into the pit lane. I think he had a very bad start and got teleported to the pits, as we're 3 wide for second place.
And you can see a little bumping going on there between Newer and Johnson. Perfect now moves up into second. Johnson still holds on to the lead there. Newer, Cooper, Minder in tow behind him. Newer doing a beautiful move on board with Shane Zane Minder. Minder back in the 5th position.
Cooper sitting in 4th. He's got a big battle ahead of him. He's trying to swing around the outside, just trying to find any room open. He does have that competition option to look over to, but you want less cars in front of you on that restart than more cars in front of you, knowing you have a closer gap. But the front 2 of Johnson and Newer definitely pulling away from the rest of the field, as Reese Newer getting a sideways and bam, slapped into the side of Ricky Johnson. He's giving him a little bit of a finger right now as the fight for third between Perfect and Cooper. They also had a little bit of a bash in with each other.
I think Johnson just told Newer he was number one. That's it.
You know, the finger doesn't matter. He is number one. He's currently sitting at first.
Yeah, but Ricky Johnson doing a great. The drinking team on the side of him. Reese Newer in the Sparka machine. Ashton Perfect. Little gap back to him in that Perfect Motorsports machine. I think he's part of the elite team there. Yeah, he's got all these new teams. It's so awesome to see.
Yeah, teams come out of nowhere and teams show up, teams go away. But, you know, seeing new teams pop in here and seeing more drivers come up is obviously a big sign that the sport is growing in popularity. More people want to come into these broadcasts. More people want to come in and support these broadcasts and race in these massive events. And that's just a big sign that this is only getting better and better, and more people want to compete in the top level of short course racing.
Definitely speaking about top level, that's Ricky Johnson right now out front, followed by Newer as we're watching Bush Dachelet battle with Beatty in the rear. Oh, wow, Minder. A nice slide job to the inside, door to door.
Yeah, as Cooper's got that outside line, though, coming off. He's going to have to speed, and now the inside line of that long right hander. They go over that jump. There's still stuff aside. Minder's got a good run over the jump sideways. See the shocks rebounding, making that car jump up, turn into a two-wheel machine. But Minder makes that move around the outside, but now it's Cooper down to the inside. He's going to be lined up for a good move heading into the gravel pit. Already sideways at quarter entry. He's got a good entry, but how is his exit at 4:15 of Minder? Round the outside and making it work over the Polaris Razor jump. Minder up in fourth.
Minder doing a great job there as he battled with Cooper. Trying to chase down Perfect in front of him there. But don't forget, you got Dachelet back there watching these two battle it out there. And Bush, too. There's Bush going by here. And, of course, it looks like the competition caution is out. We've re-racked
Newer
and restacked.
It's actually, there was an overtake right at the line. And Ricky Johnson,
wow,
number 2 right now. Newer got him.
Well, I gotta say, Reese Newer has impressed me into the last year, into this year, and unfortunately had some bad luck last weekend. But that happens to every driver. But it's great to see these young drivers that are developing and learning their skills.
Indeed, and you know, some of these young guys, they have a good day, they have an off day. It's very on and off, and now we're going to be seeing a little bit of strategy on when is Reese Newer going to go. We saw them go right in front of the stands last time by, right over the jump. We might see Reese go a little bit earlier, or might go a little bit later, but currently it's Newer, Johnson, Perfect, Minder, Cooper, Bush, Dachelet, Beatty, and Plumley with Piata in 10th place. They're back on track. They're at the tail end of this grid as Reese Newer is coming down in front of that big stand. This is where they went last time. This is where they're going to go this time. We're back on the green.
And come around, Newer. Look at this. Oh,
perfect. Immediately got into the side of Johnson, and he's going to give himself a good opportunity. Ashton Perfect for Elite Esports. Looking down the inside of Johnson in the fight for second place. That last transfer spot. Minder's trying to hold him around the outside, but there's a big bump by Perfect. Perfect's up into second, but Johnson's going to be side-by-side over the Polaris Razor jump. They're still side-by-side heading into the Pagoda. Now Johnson's down to the inside of Perfect. Perfect trying to hold around to the outside, but it's going to be Johnson back into second place. And look at Minder. Minder's up into third.
Seabiscuit. So Minder making big moves up there, getting by Perfect. Perfect now back to fourth place. Johnson trying to chase down Newer. Newer just starting to rip it away. Look at the lead he's starting to get now. That's what he wants here. That's a definite qualifying position. Johnson, Minder just outside the bubble with Perfect faltering just a little bit as he battles his way up into the top 3. On board here with Reese Newer. Now getting a look back at Johnson.
And Johnson got back into second place. Minder jumped into third. This was originally a good restart for Perfect. He was up to that spot as Ricky Johnson gets a bad bounce right there. And here comes Minder down to the inside of Johnson. Right in that tailpipe, right in that gearbox, trying to get onto that roll bar, basically, of Johnson. And you can see Johnson just struggling a little bit in that gravel pit, and Minder's closing in. 2 more laps remain, and a few more jumps of that Polaris Razor jump. That was a bad jump by Johnson in front of the stands right there. You just see the truck just getting a bad bounce, and, well, he got airborne twice right there. One time for the jump, one time off the landing.
Looks like Johnson, though, did have the quickest time coming by this last time around there, but still the fastest overall time, a 1:19 held by Newer. And we got on board there. We were with Chayton Zane Minder. You can see how rough, how much steering wheel movement's going on. You really got to fight and finesse these vehicles.
Oh, here comes Bush. He's looking down the inside of Cowboy Corner, actually turning a little bit left, then turning right, taking a quote from Doc Hudson right there. But it's not going to work out right there. It's just round the outside. Perfect's going to stay in 4th.
As they come again around the Polaris County Potawatomi turn number 1, heading towards that Red Bull finish line once again across by the barn.
As Minder and Johnson continue their fight for 2nd place. Reese Newer, oh man, he must be over the moon right now. Everything's working in his favor.
Well, they say sometimes the stars align. All you got to do is stay out front, keep his head, keep his lines, hit his marks, and keep the rubber side down. Everything should go well.
A rubber side down, but what Minder has to do is get around Johnson as they're fighting for that transfer spot. And
well, I do believe that's what slowed Johnson down just a little bit, trying to hold off the advances there of Minder. Minder all over him like a cheap polyester suit.
Well, it's just all over him like a sparkle glove is all over your hand right now. And I can tell if he's got those on, he's gripping that wheel. He's looking for a big move. There goes Minder down the inside Cowboy Corner, and he's got the slide job. And he put the block on Johnson. He got that bumper right up into there, but that wide exit is going to be hurting his speed. Here comes Johnson off the exit. He's now down to the inside of Minder. Minder trying to hold it around to the outside. They're bumping and banging and rubbing about, bumping with each other as they're going in front of the main grandstand and over the Red Bull jump. White flag is in the air last time by. This is what hurt Johnson last time by. He's got a much stiffer car, as we saw by his rebound off that jump, but he stayed ahead of Minder. Minder with a good look. 2 corners remaining into the gravel pit they go. Minder's going for an early dive on Johnson, but Johnson held that bottom line, and Johnson stays in 2nd place. 1 jump and 1 corner to go. Reese Newer is going to win heat number 2 with Johnson right behind it. It's a last-ditch attempt, but there was no room there for Minder. Newer wins, followed by Johnson, Minder, Perfect, Bush, Cooper, Dachelet, Plumley, Piata, and Betty in 10th place as Reese Newer gets a little bit of a party right there.
Yeah, he looks like got it by Minder just by about a half a truck length, though. Hats off to Minder. He'll unfortunately have to go to the B main or the last chance qualifier to make his way into the main event. And incredible. You guys see that? And there it is.
Yeah, we
Looks
see
like
our
it's gonna
grid
be, yep.
for, I'll let you take this one.
All right, there we go. Cross Kirchmeier is going to be sitting in that pole position with Chayton Zane Minder. Then you got Darren Hardesty, Ashton Perfect, followed by CJ Bunch. Then you got Taylor Bush, Sean Stratton, Kyle Cooper, Daniel Rampert, Nicholas Dachelet, Andrew Milson, and Christopher Plumley. This will be our way to fight into the main event. It looks like we've got a couple cars there in the back, I do believe. We've also got Irvin Pieta and Bula, not showing him. Let's see.
A few drivers in there, a few drivers out, but we're 10 wide as we get back under green for our last chance qualifier. Heading into turn 1's a little bit rough. It's a 4-car collision as we got trucks upside down and inside out across the line, but it's Minder, Kirchmeier, Perfect, Bush, Hardesty, Plumley, Piata, and oh no, Cross Kirchmeier is being carried off onto the interstate right there.
Yeah, they got tied up there together, definitely by the barn. Here we come. It looks like it's Minder right out of second place on the last race. Now he's out front. He is the target that everybody's going through. But you have Darren Hardesty Jr., you got Bush, you got Bunch, Plumley, Stratton, Milson, Piata, and a couple of drivers that got pushed around, getting shuffled around the back of the pack.
Yeah, a lot of drivers. I saw one of them had to go around the jumper. I gotta be honest, the back of this pack is getting a little bit rough for my liking as CJ Bunch gets into the back of Bush and almost turns him around there as he's trying to get up, and he actually did get past him. Was that Darren Hardesty?
Hardesty is still sitting up in second place there. That was Bunch. We're watching it. We're on board now, and then we see behind him Stratton and Milson.
You know, I think that car, that white car, is actually a lap down. They didn't get to the start, so they came out of it where everyone is right now. I'm trying to figure out whose car is that. But there's Darren Hardesty. I thought it said Hardesty on the Sunband, but Hardesty is in that black
Can't
truck
the
right
99.
there.
Yeah, it's the Ultra Motorsports 99. I'd know that 99 anywhere.
Could that have been Wagner?
You want to talk about a family deep in racing there. Grandpa Earl and his dad, Darren Hardesty Jr., also veterans of Baja.
Yeah, Baja Racing, very steeped in truck racing and buggy racing and UTV racing. Anything that has to do with dirt, they've been to Baja, and let me tell you, Baja is just one of those special places that you just, as an off-road racer, it's a bucket list race that you want to go to. And I know.
Okay, let's start the petition now. iRacing, we want a Baja San Felipe 250, a Baja 500, a Baja 1000.
Or just a starting area from Ensenada, okay? I'll just be okay with the starting area from Ensenada because that place is just beautiful to go through, especially with the crowds just right next to you, and just after a fresh rain, it gets a little bit crazy.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Speaking of crazies, watching this race right now, the Consolation, the LCQ, whatever you call it, Minder out front, Hardesty, Bush, Plumley, Bunch, Stratton, Irvin, and it looks like Perfect, Cooper, Kirchmeier, and
Cooper had a bad chance. Perfect got up and down the inside as we switched all the way over to the other end of this track, looking at Hardesty and Minder. Minder, though, put in the fastest lap last time by. White flag is in the air here for our last chance qualifier. Minder takes the lead, followed by Hardesty. Right behind with Bush, Plumley, Bunch, and Barula, Stratton with them, followed by, oh my goodness, Wagner, Dashley, Irvin, Perfect, Rampart, Kirchmeier, Cooper, and Milson. And we had a good look by Hardesty down the inside. Hardesty put it into the fastest lap of the race. It's not white flag in the air. I thought it was white flag in the air, and I'm just going crazy it seems. But Hardesty, big dive down the inside. A cowboy corner trying to go for that slide job. It's a little bit too early for that drive. Minder holds it on, but it's a great look by Darren Hardesty.
Yeah, when you're dive bombing like that, you got to remember you're going to be scrubbing speed off there. You're not going to carry your momentum like Minder did. I could have told you, you know, it's worth a try sometimes, but save that one for the white flag lap.
Yeah, the white flag lap we've seen. So I've seen one of the most crazy white flag laps finish here in our own Pro 2 race when we went to Crandon Long to open up the season. White flag down the inside, and then a slide job. He just planted his bumper right on the front of the car off the exit to just totally negate the speed that he lost and the other speed of the other guy. White flag is now in the air this time. 1 lap to go.
And Hardesty's still working on Jaden Minder. Minder hitting his marks, looking smooth there. And it looks like now right on his back bumper, looking to the inside. We got a race, folks.
Now we got a good race. Hardesty is with there. And in case both of them have a little bit of an issue, Bush is waiting to pick up the scraps. Hardesty is lined up a big dive at Cowboy Corner. But around the outside, Shannon Zane Minder holds his speed and holds his line and stays in the lead.
Beautiful marquee hit there to hit that speed up there. Look at Busch in hot pursuit now. Top 3 total breakaways now as they come out of the Forest County Potawatomi turn number 1.
There's a little bit of a mistake. Hardesty gets a good run. Minder's in the wall. Hardesty's in the lead. And here comes Busch. This might be a 3-wide race. Minder, though. My goodness. How did he get that back? Minder's gone wide in the gravel pit. Hardesty's gone low. Minder trying to hold it around the outside. Busch is right there with it. We got a 3-way fight over the Polaris Razor jump. Minder's down the inside. Hardesty around the outside. Minder, Hardesty. Hardesty's got to run down the outside. He's gone a little bit deep. He's going to go to the line. Minder's going to take it. Wow.
See, Hardesty moves over there to hold on to second there. Busch with a heck of a comeback.
Busch almost managed to get second place right there. That was the craziest last lap I've ever seen. But Shannon Zane Minder, when he got into the wall, got pushed right there, went from the outside back into the inside to get ahead of Darren Hardesty, and we're going to be seeing him one more time in a row in our finale. Minder takes the win, followed by Hardesty, Busch, Plumley, Bunch, Admirola, Wagner, Dashlet, Stratton, Irvin, Perfect, Rampart, Milson, Cooper, Kirchmeier, and Piata in our 16 starting cars as we are getting lined up and ready for our finale.
And I want to thank our great sponsors like CBR Performance Product, Dirt Sports World. You can reach us at Dirt Sports World on social media, as well as dirtsportsworld.com on the internet. Don't forget to go check out Sparco and all their awesome line of either driving suits and equipment for the big trucks and real trucks, or you want to get your sim, they got the sim lineup that you talked about, their awesome gloves. Go out and check them out. Signature Propellers, Rigid Industries. It's not clean.
It's super clean.
And Sunwest Supply Incorporated, and of course, AIM Data System, keeping all our drivers up to date. So we're going to do a little bit of practice here, burn up a little warm-up for these drivers. We're seeing Luke Knupp there, the double sevens, Legacy Esports.
Yeah, Luke Knupp, we didn't see him in the heats, but he's got his way with that pole position to get himself into the finale, and that's probably the best time you need it with the with putting in the fastest lap and qualifying. Well, boom, you're up there.
Well, you know what? They had Ricky Johnson on that inside pole line. He had that whole shot early on. Busch didn't hold on to that lead, but we could see that any position could take a top spot.
Yeah, any position can, especially on that land rush start and with that restart. Anything can happen. And with that last lap that we saw the leader change twice and almost 3 times between 3 different trucks. And Mason Prater, we mentioned him in that mod car. Actually, we can see a shot of him in his mod car experience. He's currently lined up on top by 0.5 of a second.
Oh, wow.
As we got a few minutes left here in the warm-up. What are you really looking forward to in this final race? What's a big takeaway that we've been seeing?
Oh, well, I just can't wait to see if Holton Heitritter can hold out and, keep that momentum going with Luke Knupp and Mason Prater coming for him. Ebert and Swain and Golding. Golding threw a lot of, speed there, but of course he's gotten shuffled back to the field. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a battle royale.
It certainly will be a battle royale of big names, and I really want to see how Minder does, if he can continue his comeback career. As well, he had that not so good first race, that second race he had, that last chance qualifier. Just, man, that was wild, and he might bring that experience with him and get up into a little bit of fighting with a few of these guys.
Yeah, most definitely. It's going to be interesting for sure.
Indeed, it will be. Just over a minute left here at the Big House of Crandon. So many great truck racing happening here at Crandon, and buggy racing, and just off-road racing. I remember when oh my goodness, Oliver Golden taking out a Marshall right there. Thankfully, all Marshalls on iRacing are non-collidable, so we don't have to worry about that one. And having this game being labeled as teen. But currently, Mason Prater holding that top spot, followed by Golding, Up, Briley, Swain, Ebert, McMillan, Bunch, Newer, Bush, Tremonti, Drapkin, and Plumley. As we're seeing a few little bit of, oh my goodness, happening in the back. That's 77. Got a little bit of airtime right there.
Yeah, definitely sending it. But look at Swain, man. There's only the war about Black. Golding, wait to see how Keaton Swain's going to do. I know he could be a fast driver at any time.
Yeah, Keaton Swain. I've seen that name top the timing sheets a few times. Ethan Ebert, one of those real life experienced drivers here, and sometimes currently struggles with a little bit of stuff. But looking at him right now, I feel like he's learned. Luke Knupp, though, fastest time in qualifying, but in warm up currently sitting 4th. We're going to see on. Oh no, Luke Knupp. Oh no, Luke.
Knupp with a K.
My last name starts with a K, but it's silent.
Yeah, his isn't. It's not Knight.
No. As much as people want to try and say it, it's not Knight. It's just a force of habit. Whenever I see a K, I just didn't say it.
I know. No, it's a lot of people look at it and see Nup, but it is Knupp. Known the family real well, known for a long time, and great people. So great to see him and his dad out there doing some desert racing together. Speaking of racing, I'm excited to see him coming back. Mason Prater's got that number 1. Yeah, baby, Prater Racing. He's got the bullseye on his back, I'll tell you. Everybody's going to be gunning for him.
Well, he's currently starting in that number 1 spot. Trenton Briley in that very dark, I would say the dark horse of the field, starting 2nd place. That number 17 looking very nice.
Oliver Golding there. OG Racing. Elite Sports. Oliver's always fast. Former kart kid, now racing UTVs. Leaving the turbo class. Running a 770 number he runs in real life. And there's Luke Knupp there. In the Rocket Racing setups. Ultra Motorsports number 77.
With Zachary Drapkin in that red line oil truck, that Signature Propellers truck he's got running on right there. That 56 looking very nice. He's starting in 5th.
Then I do believe we're going to move over to Holden Heitritter there. And Holden running, looks like Rocket Racing setups there also. The Justice Brothers oils. Holden, boy, he's had some success, man. I'll tell you, he did well at the took the Jim Beaver esports deal too. And
then we got another Rocket Racing setups. Ethan Ebert in that 57.
I was going to say we're seeing a lot of those Rocket Racing setups.
Well, they're the most popular setup for off-road pro trucks, and I know a lot of people who've raced for them, and let me tell you, those setups are pretty nice.
They got it figured out. All right, on to Cole McMillan there in the number 20 from the Midwest.
He's running the iRacing short course car. It's a very bland truck, so McMillan, if you guys want to see your name on a truck, go contact Cole McMillan and see what happens. And another Rocket Racing setup car by Keaton Swain.
Just say you got to put your name here.
You know, I commented on a series that had that. I'm now proud sponsor of 10 cars in that series.
So Gary Green coming to us via Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and he's running for Team Green as we got 10 cars all lined up on the outside with Tremonti in 11th, Reese Newer in 12th, Heck in 13th, Johnson in 14th, with Minder in 15th, Darren Hardesty in 16th, followed by Bush, Plumley, and Bunch. 2 rows of 19 cars lined up on the Steal It starting line, and 12 laps of pure racing here at the Big House, and certainly the Big House deserves a big grid, and we got the biggest one of the night.
19 trucks populating 2 rows there.
So big that they can't all stay on the same screen.
Yeah, it's going to be some carnage going in turn 1, I'm predicting.
Yeah, we saw 4 wide, 5 wide going into turn 1 last time by, and a few trucks getting a little bit lost on the circuit and ending up falling out of the world. And we're going to see on how this start goes. Let's get ready to go racing. 5 red lights are on. One last time at the Steal It starting line. It's green for iRacing short course at the Big House.
Here we go at the Forest County turn. Number 1, Potawatomi Tribe. Want to thank them so much for being that sponsor of the turn there as they come around here. It's going to be Prater out front.
Oh,
got the breakaway.
exactly.
Trapped it! Oh, my goodness.
There's a big hit by Drapkin, but Prater leading out Knupp and Golding are top 3. Golding's on the outside, Knupp's down the inside. Knupp looking down low. And he's going to get on side by side with Prater actually getting a little bit rubbing with him as Golding makes his way up into 4th place of Trenton Briley.
Highrider goes back to 5th. Heck sitting in that 6th position. And look at this.
Golding.
Oh, wow. Highrider goes moving through the field and they get shuffled back. Drivers all over there. Prater now Knupp up to 2nd. Briley, Johnson, Heck, Highrider, Ebert, Newer, McMillan, Drapkin, Jeremiah, Golding, Swain, Green, Hardesty, Bunch, Plumley, Minder, and Bush.
There's a big hit right there, and, well, man, I saw another truck just actually populate the field, went sideways right there as Holden Herder and Johnson are in a fight for 4th, and Johnson's went with that early break and almost got collected by Heck in that 619.
Yeah, it looks like Highrider and Johnson battling. Johnson comes out just ahead of him. I'm sorry, just behind of him. Highrider able to hold on to that 4th position. And it looks like Prater and Knupp starting to break away a little bit as we look at the battle there with Highrider and Johnson.
He's back up front and looking through the field. Holton Highrider staying ahead of Johnson, and you can just see the damage on Highrider's car. Johnson getting a good body shot into there.
Well, Johnson's going a little elbow around that turn.
It was more than an elbow, more like a roundhouse kick right there. As there's a lot of damage going on. The 99 making itself known.
Is that hot spot Hardesty blinking in and out again?
Yeah, that's Hardesty, but Hardesty's got his elbows out right now. They're 3 wide nose to tail over the Walker Evans Racing, and I don't know if Highrider swallowed something right there, but we got 2 cars inside of each other.
Yeah, Johnson and Highrider look like they're hooked up and then released there. Some kind of glitch for sure as they come in Cowboys corner. Look at this.
Oh! Yeah, a lot of net coding happening by Hardesty. I know some of these guys don't have the best internet around, and there's a truck just spinning on its roof right there. I think that might have been Bunch as he's gone, Bunch or Minder, as they've gone out of this race.
It looks like Bunch and Bush are out, Plumley out, Minder out.
A few of these drivers might be shown as out, but that just might be their connection going to the iRacing server not being the best right there. But it's Prater, Knupp, Briley, Herder, Johnson, Heck, Ebert, Newer, McMillan, Shermonti has 4 wide coming out of the gravel pit.
Wow, that was quite impressive to go over the Polaris Razor jump around the final turn coming across the McCoy finish line.
Has that shot. And Highrider's got the lead as, oh no, Heck and Hardesty getting a little bit together, but Hardesty made his way down that inside line of the 619, but he gets a bit of a bump right there. And now, here comes Heck. As, oh no, Ebert's up and around. Ebert spinning on his nose.
And of course, even the best drivers could have a bad day, and that is one example there for sure. Light Ritter, though, deep in the field in 6th. We are only 3 laps into this 12-lap main event.
It felt like we're on lap 8, honestly, with the amount of action we're seeing. We got 2 separate packs going on. Mason Printer and Luke Knupp, they've got their own fight for the lead. Then Swain and Briley are just trying to follow behind. And it's really the top 5, and then the rest of the field all bunched up with each other. Luke Knupp looking down the inside, getting a little elbows. I know Luke has a little bit of reputation on iRacing for not being a little too clean. He's going to try to go around the outside, and it's not going to work for him that time by.
Oh, here we go. Watching Luke Knupp there, trying to reel in Mason Prater. Prater driving so clean. Knupp. These 2 drivers do not want to touch each other. They want to stay clean because you know they can end their day, especially when you're chasing a championship again. Knupp has had a championship. Now, Prater is the man defending the championship.
Luke Knupp staying the same line with Mason Prater, not showing his cards too early on what he wants to do as Darren Hardesty goes down the inside. They're 3 wide off the exit with Johnson still there with them. But Sean Heck holding that inside line after that outside exit just ahead of Ricky Johnson in that Stars and Stripes Pro 4. He's going to try to hold around the outside right there over to Trenton Briley. I see he's holding off Green. And Green's had a rough day. Good to see by the front of his car.
Look at this back up front. Looking at the Briley on board there, sitting in 5th place. Looking back there at Green. Briley missing that right rear fender there.
Took a big shot right there, and Keaton Swain sitting in 3rd. And he's really in that odd spot where you can't really seem to catch up to the guys up front. But you got a good enough gap behind where you don't have to really worry. But he does have to worry about that competition caution on lap 6. His old big send by Luke Knupp, a little bit wide right there. And Mason Prater pulling a little bit more away lap by lap. So he needs to get a bit charging very soon, or else it's going to be Mason Prater pulling away.
Looks like Swain all by his lonesome back there, but Briley and Green continue to battle. But I think this Prater and Knupp battle is far from over at this point.
Oh, it's just taking a little bit intermission right now, as I can tell that both these drivers want to get it on very soon. Knupp, Prater, 1st and 2nd. That number 1 versus the 77. Who's it gonna be? They're coming across on lap 6. At the end of this lap, that competition caution will be called.
Well, almost to the halfway point now, the start of lap number 6. And
actually, they're calling it right now. Yeah, they're calling it right now. It's a 1 lap early, and you know what happened last time when they called it 1 lap early? Well, they crashed. But completely different circumstances.
That's not going to happen here.
I don't believe it will happen. We're looking back at the field, but Mason Prater is currently sitting in that money spot as they're all the way going to the very inside of the track. You know, bringing up some dirt and clearing that way. And I think this is a strategy that Mason Prater has leaned up. If everyone's lined up and clearing some dirt away on that inside line, as they are letting one driver body get his lap back. He's clearing out that inside line. Oh, no, we got another red flag. They're stopping again.
So what did you say about a red flag before?
well, if you've never seen a red flag in iRacing, this is what it looks like. You're here watching the iRacing short course series. Oh my goodness, home of the red flags. So, in the finale, this is the first one though.
Well, let's take a little time to thank our sponsors while we're going through this red flag right now. CBR Performance Products, Jure Sports World, Sparco, Signature Propellers, Rigid Industries, Super Clean, SunWest Supply, and of course AIM Data Systems there. As we're taking a look there, a good shot overhead from Prater, Knupp, and Swain. Maybe nose to tail as we get ready to go start. Looks like a couple drivers net coding out there.
Yeah.
Riley, one of them.
Yeah, some of these drivers are being disappeared for a while, but I'm surprised that all 19 trucks here are still in this race after we've had a very collidable start with a few of them. As here comes Reese Newark getting onto the brakes. It's just missed by a little bit.
Missed it by that much.
Yeah, put it in reverse. Here comes Ethan Ebert. And a little less horsepower going into there, as if you're looking up right now, if you're sitting in this spot, this is probably a breath of fresh air. You get to clear your mind, you get to rethink your strategy as we go back under safety car conditions. When are you going to send it if you're Luke Knupp, and when is Mason Prater going to send it on this restart?
I hate to say it this way, but I think all the pressure is on Mason Prater. He's the defending champion. Luke Knupp's had that championship, like I mentioned before. He's sitting back in second place, so he can just kind of roll back, take it easy a little bit, and have a good time. And I think just wait for that opportunity.
As here we go in front of the Red Bull stands, and everybody in the crowd, no one's sitting down. We got 6 more laps of heart-pounding racing action here in the iRacing Short Course Series. Mason Prater in that one, controlling the start of this. As we go back to green, when's he going to go? Ooh, Luke Knupp looking for a good start, and everyone got the jump.
Green, here we go.
I think the person who got the worst jump right there might have been Mason Prater, as he got nobody out with that.
Yeah, just a little clarification. That wasn't a red flag. What that was, instead of burning the 3 laps around, they just kind of parked them there and waited so they'd come around and get that start right away.
All right, thank you for that clarification.
Yeah,
it's a little bit confusing sometimes, but you know, whenever I see cars just stop on there, I just call that a red flag.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't see a red flag anywhere, and it still says it's good, but
it's a driver called red flag, just like the driver called safety car.
There you go. But Prater out front, Knupp and Swain, and a whole lot of footsteps behind them.
Zachary Drapkin in the middle of Tremonti and Minder, managing to elbow his way up there into 9th.
On board with Zach Drapkin there as we look around. Oof.
Zach with a big send of the 619, trying to get past Heck right there, but he's currently sitting in 9th place. And after barrel rolling at the start, Zachary Drapkin is going to be very pleased where he is at right now.
Well, with a little bit of carnage, it's just great to see everybody still on the lead lap right now and still competing. This is far from over. We've only got lap 7 right now. There, a lot of things could happen between now and lap number 12.
Yeah, a lot of things definitely could happen. It's a bump by Knupp into the rear of Mason Prater. And I swear, if these two start fighting a little bit more, we might see Keaton Swain or Green hop into this battle. And another bump by Knupp on Prater.
Prater's just giving a little, getting those little bumps, knowing he's back there. He sees him in his rearview mirror. Luke's trying to get into his head. This becomes a mental game at this point. You want to show a nose. You're going to show a nose. You're going to change your lineup. You're going to try and get an opposite line. Because if you keep following, you're not going to be able to pass. So Luke's going to try to do everything he can.
Yeah, Luke is looking down the inside. He's braking early. Here goes Luke Knupp. Very wide nose, and he's got the slide job. And he's done kind of the brake check where he put his bumper on the nose of Mason Prater. Now Mason Prater's on that outside line. Luke Knupp leading this race with a big set. Now here comes Prater. Here comes Prater around the outside. Can Prater get him back? He does get him back over the Red Bull jump.
And look at that. He literally pitched it sideways in the air. Set up for that turn. He comes around. Well, Knupp is going to have the inside line coming off this turn. Let's take it on
the outside, off the exit. Knupp going very wide, going for that switchback move in the gravel pit. but it's not going to help him that time by Mason Prater. Seemingly unbeatable right now as he leads out this race. Anything that Luke's throwing at him, he's countered, and Luke's getting very up into the chassis of that Pro 4 of Mason Prater.
It's not over yet. I think he's going to try and give Mason another run for his money, though. But Mason is driving cool and collected right now, and that's the biggest thing. Don't get rattled. You got to keep your head. You got to keep your lines. Don't forget your marks. You got to keep consistent.
Indeed, and consistency is key, especially when you're in the lead. And Mason Prater is showing that right now. Luke Knupp looking a little bit wild with some of his moves, trying to get into the lead. A little bit of desperation efforts, and desperation, it could work, but it could also lead to more cars getting involved with you, as I see Keaton Swain is just hunting him down even more.
That's another thing. When you're battling with somebody, sometimes it slows you down a little bit. Oh, pit slap there to the wall of green. But you can see Swain now slowly creeping up on him, getting a little closer as we look at Heidritter trying to crawl back up there also. They're getting a little faster as the laps diminish. But Knupp not losing sight of Mason Prater.
He's gone wide, though.
And
he's gone wide off the entry. He's going to go for that exit line with that speed off the exit and go into the S's here. And it's a little bit more speed than Mason Prater, trying to just get a run into this left-hander.
Mason keeps on trying to fill that hole there so he can't get that nose down in on him.
Now, sometimes if you know that you have that inside line open, but the outside line is preferred, you might want to give that inside line to the other driver to force him into a mistake as Luke Knupp pitches the car nearly 180 degrees around Cowboy turn. And that's a very bad exit by Luke Knupp. Prater's got the preferred line out of there, and he didn't scrub off a lot of speed off that exit. Knupp falls a little bit farther away, followed by Swain, Green, Harder, Hard to see, Johnson, Trapkin, Cheramonte, Binder, Heck, Newer, McMillan, Plumley, Bush, Bunch, Golding, Ebert, and Briley.
Bet you can't say that 3 times fast.
Don't challenge me.
So Prater trying to hold off Knupp still. Knupp right on his tail, but Swain and Green battling back there. There's only 3 spots on that podium. Swain holding on to that final spot on the box.
Yeah, Swain definitely in that money spot, but I feel like there's 2 more spots that he would prefer to be right now. But right behind him, Gary Green getting a big nose full of Heidritter right behind him as Heidritter is getting very aggressive. Heidritter looking for a big send right now. 2 laps to go.
Heidritter looking for a little bit of daylight there as Green trying to fill that lineup. Coming around, he's going to have to get the shoehorn out and try and squeeze in between. You're going to see Knupp is going to start to take a few chances now as the laps are getting closer. Only 2 laps to go after this, and we'll see the white flag come out this next time around.
2 laps to go. Only about 7 overtaking opportunities left as well for Luke Knupp. So I feel like he's going to be picking his cards very well and trying to get as close as he can. And if I was Luke, I would be going for him right now. I want to go for the last lap. I want to catch him off guard because I believe Mason Prater is expecting him to go for that last lap move. If we just go to it a little bit early, we might catch him off guard. But you know what Mason just needs to do? He just needs to play defensive every time he knows where an overtake can happen and just keep those mistakes piling up for Luke Knupp as he can't even get to the bumper of Mason Prater now. White flag is in the air here at the Big House for the iRacing Short Course Series.
Yep, Prater is trying to use those preferred lines here, which is the quickest way around. You can see the track starting to blue groove out a little bit. That's where you want to keep the truck. That's where all the traction is, where that laid rubber. When you get out in the marbles like that, you can see Luke just caught up about a quarter of a truck length there. You know, that adds up over several laps, but with the white flag out, you're going to have to make a big move now. There it is.
Here comes Luke.
There's a big move.
Big move, and he stole it right there.
That was a slide job and a block. Here we go, and it's Luke Knupp.
We saw this earlier by Luke Knupp, but it didn't work out for him as Prater got the move back. But now Luke Knupp on the last lap. He pulled out the slide job and the block over the Red Bull jump they go. Knupp Prater, 1 and 2, nose to tail with each other on the last lap. Knup's in the wall. Here comes Prater right behind it with over the big dump and heading into the gravel pit. Here comes Prater, early turn in, trying to get that inside line on Knup. Knup's gone wide in the gravel pit. There's Prater off the exit. They're side by side. They're bumping and banging their trucks over the Polaris Racer jump. Luke Knup still having the lead as they go over 1 corner to go. Holding that inside line. Knup's gone a little bit wide, but it's going to be Luke Knup taking the victory by a nose.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
So Luke Knup, the Ultra Motorsports Rocket Racing Setups machine, takes the win over Prater. Prater, though, you can't take anything away from that young driver. So much talent, these two of them. At any day, it could be any one of those two when they're battling like that. Hats off to Keaton Swain for throwing down some quick laps there. I'll tell you, he was within hundredths of a second of these drivers. In fact, he was faster that time around than Luke Knup, who won the race. So it's Knup, Prater, Swain, and we'll be talking to him in a moment.
Yeah, what an amazing race we saw here at Crandon. Here are our results. Luke Knup takes the win, followed by Mason Prater, Keaton Swain, Gary Green, Darren Hardesty, Holton Herder, Ricky Johnson, Zachary Drapkin, Shaden Minder, Sean Heck, Reese Minder, Cole McMillan, Taylor Bush, Christopher Plumley, CJ Bunch, Oliver Golding, Braden Cheramonte, and Ethan Ebert in 18th out of this massive grid of the final. But wow.
Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is Keaton Swain's first podium in iRacing short course.
It is his first podium, so he's gonna be over the moon right now. But somebody who's gonna be the most over the moon is definitely gotta be Luke Knup.
Well, yeah, I gotta say, it's been a rough one. Well, again, I want to thank our great sponsors for making this all possible. Of course, always CBR Performance Products, Dirt Sports World, Sparco, Signature Propellers, Rigid Industries. It's not clean.
It's super clean. Sorry, I had my mic down.
Sunwest Supply Incorporated, and of course, AIM Data Systems for keeping all the drivers up to date. Well, here we are. Welcome to the podium for the first time here in iRacing Short Course. No stranger to the podium in real life, but Keaton Swain. Man, you found some blistering speed, boy. You put some practicing?
Yeah, I've been practicing with the other Rocket Racing setup guys, and they've been giving me their little tips and tricks. But it was a good race. I got a good start. Came out third, and then I just settled behind Luke. Had to follow him and keep up, and I'm happy with it. First time on the podium for this league, and hopefully we can go get some more for the rest of the season.
Well, if it's any indication of the speed you were showing, I'm not going to be surprised you won't be battling for a championship. You looked really good. You looked smooth. And I think when you that Rocket Racing setup, you guys a little team, you're learning each other's lines a little bit.
Yeah, we've been practicing together, trying to get the whole team up to pace, and it seems to be working. So I'm going to do it without Rocket Racing setup, Appliance Parts Company, and everyone that supports the league, and all their sponsors. I thank them enough.
Keaton Swain, awesome to talk to you again. Welcome to the box here at iRacing Short Cars. Great job.
Thank you.
Bittersweet for Mason Prater, defending champion. Of course, I know it's a bitter, pill to swallow, but still you're in the running. A podium's a podium's a podium.
Yeah, I mean, not the result I wanted. I mean, I led wire to wire, had fast lap, got whole shot, and my PC was kind of losing it at the end. I was lagging a little bit on my end, not on theirs. So I kind of lost Luke for about half the lap, especially towards that end. I couldn't really see him, so I kind of played it safe, just make sure I didn't take him out, take myself out, cause either of us to get any farther back than we needed to be. I'm happy with the second. We're only 2 rounds in, but I'll take a second place. We were fast, we had speed, but we just couldn't put it all together.
Sometimes second place is a lot less pressure than running out front because they're gunning for you.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm a little bit more relaxed than I definitely was last year. I know Crandon's one of my best tracks, especially Crandon Long. It's where I got my first win last year. It's where I started off my good season, and that's where I also ended it off with the championship. So it's one of my more comfortable tracks. So running up front, it was a little bit more natural there, but of course, there's always going to be that pressure. Watching Luke behind me slowly reel me in or me have to slowly put a gap on him is always a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to forget it and drive your own race, which it was very impressive watching you from the start of the race. He's like you said, almost all the way to the wire. You had this one. But you know what? I think the battle between you two is far from over.
Yeah, I think so too. Luke's one of the most fierce competitors I've ever raced in real life and in this game. Me and him have been racing in real life since I was, I wasn't even, me and him were both in the Junior 1 carts. So, I've been racing
and I remember
forever.
That.
It was back right when me and him both started. So he's been a very, very good friend, but a fierce competitor on and off the track. So I'm really looking forward to this battle the rest of the season.
Well, I always enjoy watching you two race, and congratulations again. And I know it's a whole team effort there.
Yeah, I can't thank my guys over at Elite enough. They're putting in hours with me, and especially Connor and them. They have a lot of faith in me and the other drivers on the team. I can't thank them enough. I don't give them enough credit. But like I said, Elite Esports, Sparko, General Tire, Ryan Beat Motorsports, Bill Steen, CBR, Rugged Radio, Steal It, and big shout out to the guys at Ruthless Karting. I've been putting in a bunch of hours with them. I put in about 400 laps over the last week or two in the real life stuff. So just happy to get out there again.
Very cool. Mason Prater, second place. Trying to make him consistent to go for another championship, but good job, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Well, here we are, Luke Knupp. We thought he was going to be the bridesmaid. Tonight, it looked like Mason had this one wrapped up. But man, oh man, did you find his kryptonite on that last lap?
Yeah, I was watching every lap, and I saw I was making up time in the last turn. And I tried it once, got by him, and then he got right back by me. And I knew I didn't want to go second again 2 weeks in a row. And I knew I had the faster truck. It showed by qualifying first. First in practice, and I think I had fast lap, but made the pass done with the slide job in the 180, and just what a night. Didn't have the best start, came out around 7th, and then somehow I found myself in 2nd, but overall, a really fun night.
Well, a lot of people say it's all the pressures usually when you're running up front. When you're in second place, you got pretty much nothing to lose when you go for a pass, but I can imagine it gets a little frustrating too when the guy's right pretty much on par with you.
Yeah, it was definitely frustrating, but Mason was definitely on it tonight. I didn't think I had anything for him, and then I saw he made a little mistake, but I was definitely frustrated. Didn't want to go second again, and I saw the opening, and I took it, and thankfully it stuck, and I held on to it.
Well, it's like what Mason said. You guys been racing together since your Junior 1 days, and you could tell you guys know how each other drive, and you drive each other clean, and that's what's kind of nice.
Oh, yeah. Every time I'm on track with Mason, I know I have a friend, and that's definitely nice to know I'm out there, and we both run with respect. We're both past champions.
Yep.
We know how to run up front cleanly, and it was definitely a super fun night.
Well, I got to say, Luke Knupp, one incredible race tonight. If you're going to make a pass, you make it on the last lap, and you did it. You put the stamp on it, buddy.
Yeah, it's actually my second win with the last lap pass. Take it back to round 13 of the summer series when I passed Elliott Watson on the last lap. But
That's right. That's right. I remember that. Very cool.
Definitely super excited. I think I have the points lead now by a comfortable margin. So.
Well, I say with a second
nice.
and a first, I think you have the points lead now.
Yeah, I think I had the points lead after qualifying. I was only 3 back from Holden, and he didn't have any qualifying points. So.
Okay. And Holden finished 6 overall this time, so
yeah,
kind of jumped up there. But I know a lot has to do with your team.
Yeah, definitely. The Rocket Racing setups, boys, and Rocket Racing esports guys. It killed it. Another double podium for us this week. This race with Keaton on the podium in 3rd. It definitely shows we put in the work, and like I said, it shows. They are definitely the leading setup service, and if you need any help, we offer coaching, and we'll help anytime.
Ciao, you might have talked Keaton a little too much. He was pretty quick.
Oh, that's all I'm here for. Seeing my teammates succeed.
That's awesome, buddy. Awesome job. You like to thank anybody else?
Oh yeah, for sure. Ultra Wheels, Rocket Racing, esports, and setups again. Rigid Industries, Diamondback Materials, all the series sponsors: SunWest, AIM, CBR, Sparco, Signature Propellers, Dirt Sports World, Super Clean, Milner Designs, and iRacing Short Course for putting this on.
So, gotta ask you a question. You gonna make it out to King of the Hammers?
Yeah, I'm leaving Friday after school, so hopefully we can.
Out there.
We'll do. Hopefully we can continue our podium streak off of a win and a 3rd. So.
There we go. Well, we'll find out next Wednesday right here on iRacing Short Course. Luke Knupp with a last Hail Mary pass takes the win and the points lead. Good job, bud.
Thanks. Have a good night, guys.
You too. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and I got to thank our sponsors that makes this all possible. CBR Performance Products, Dirt Sports World, Sparco, Signature Propellers, Rigid Industries, It's Not Clean.
It's super clean.
And, of course, SunWest Supply, and, of course, AIM Data Systems, keeping all the drivers' information at the touch of their fingers. For myself, Dave Arnold, Austin Knight, and, of course, our producer, Randall Alvarez. We'll see you next time on the Virtual Dirt.